I've been wearing barefoot shoes for almost 10 years now because I wanted to go more natural and thought it was healthier for my feet. Taking the fact that our feet and toes are the main contact points to the ground and support our whole body weight, shouldn't we take special care of them? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to go deep into barefoot shoes and how they strengthened my feet, but also caused me injuries because of some wrong assumptions I had in the past. If we think about caring for our feet, it can come in two forms, soft love and tough love. Or in other words, comfort/protection and adaptation. Think of these principles as a gradual scale and not as two binary quantities. The existence of anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens, can be traced back to around 300,000 years ago. Cushioned shoes, as we understand them today, are a relatively recent invention. Footwear in ancient times was primarily designed to protect the foot from sharp objects, rough terrain, and extreme temperatures. They were typically made of plant fibers, animal hides, or leather, and were not cushioned in a way many shoes are now. The modern cushioned shoe has its origin in the 20th century. Athletic shoes with cushioned properties began to appear in the latter half of the 20th century to increase athletes' performance and protection in its highly specialized domain. And since then, cushioning technology has developed significantly. So for the sake of argument, if we say that cushioned shoes have been around for about 70 years, from the 1950s to 2023, then cushioned shoes have been in existence for about 0.023% of the entire existence of anatomically modern humans. This is a tiny fraction when considering the entire span of human history. So what's so different in today's society that we desperately need so damn comfortable shoes?
First of all, what exactly are barefoot shoes? And how do they differ from normal traditional shoes? Barefoot or minimalist shoes are designed to mimic the experience of walking or running barefoot while providing some protection for the foot. The idea is to allow the foot to move naturally without the intervention and alteration introduced by traditional footwear. So what are some attributes of a barefoot shoes? One of the primary features of a barefoot shoe is its thin sole. It's designed to help the wearer feel the ground beneath them, enhancing proprioception, meaning the awareness of the position and movement of the body. Second, zero drop. Barefoot shoes typically have a zero drop from heel to toe.
In contrast, many traditional shoes have elevated heels. The term drop refers to the difference in height between the heel and the ball of the foot. Zero drop promotes a more natural foot strike, closer to one would walk or run without shoes. A wide toe box. Many minimal shoes feature a wide toe box that allows the toes to spread out naturally, providing better balance and stability. No arch support. These shoes usually don't come with added arch support, encouraging the foot's muscle to work more and potentially become stronger. Barefoot shoes clearly fall into the camp of tough love, as they provide minimal support for our feet and therefore feel less comfortable. Although to me they are extremely comfortable nowadays, but compared to shoes where it feels like walking on clouds, barefoot shoes where you feel the hard impact of the ground or the pointy edges of every stone, they're not comfortable. But the lack of support increased my balance and strengthened my feet dramatically, as they had to adapt to new forces. But if life were that simple, this would be the end of the story. Go buy barefoot shoes. But after about 3 months into my barefoot shoes journey, I injured my knee while running. I made the wrong assumption that all that I had to change were my shoes and this would automatically transform my life. But if I decrease the protection, the risk of injuring myself increases. Logically, did I take the wrong path by choosing to wear barefoot shoes? Or maybe the combination of running and barefoot shoes is unhealthy and risky? My movement teacher, Ido Portal, once said something that really changed how I think about movement and injuries. He said there were no wrong movements, but only a lack of preparation and a lack of awareness. So in my case, it was both. My feet clearly weren't adapted enough to handle the distance I covered that day. And my awareness was so poor that I didn't realize that my conventional running style of striking with the heels first would repeatedly shock my knees. So no wonder I injured myself. After learning my lesson the hard way, I then gradually built up the strength in my feet while changing my running style to mid and forefoot striking to harness the power of elasticity and minimize shocking my joints, much like the raramuri who run ultramarathons in sandals in the desert of Mexico, or the beautiful Dumu dance, a jumping dance from the Maasai that is one of the most beautiful examples of muscle elasticity. That said, I'm no long distance runner and I don't want to give you advice on how you should run. I only share my journey and what worked for me. Another example that highlights this point was when my wife and I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail, a 2,500 miles long distance trail. I attempted first to walk it in minimal shoes. The devilish desert heat, rough terrain, long mileages of 30 plus miles a day, and heavy backpack resulted in me getting horrible infected blisters in the first 3 days, leading to the beginning of antisepsis. So the lesson here is that you really need to adjust and recalibrate your comfort adaptation scale to your personal situation. I had to apply some soft love for my feet and increase the demand for comfort, and switched my shoes to the Ultra Lone Pine Trail Runner shoe, which had a wide toe box and a zero drop, but was cushioned. Over the course of the Pacific Crest Trail, I switched back and forth between my ultras and minimal sandals. By the end of the trail, my feet were adapted enough that I could cover 400 miles of daily 20 to 30 mile hikes in rough terrain in my Luna sandals. My two examples illustrate why I wouldn't generally recommend people doing the same thing as I did regarding barefoot shoes. But I honestly believe that strengthening the feet and toes and increasing the stability of our feet is good for us. I mean, I see my kids today running barefoot on spiky rocks and concrete with a grace that the thought pains me that this natural elegance in movement will be lost one day due to overly comfortable shoes. Having said my 2 cents on barefoot shoes, let's move on to my recommendations if you would decide to try it out for yourself. I have 4 kinds of minimalistic shoes. 2 of them are for everyday life and 2 are for hiking, running and nature. Let's first take a look at my everyday shoes. My go-to shoes are the wildling shoes. Where have I? I have 2 pairs for the summer. They're really thin, and I also have a autumn winter version here. I really love the wildlings. Besides everyday walks, I also use them for most of my movement practices. As the wildlings are not water resistant at all, I also have my Vivo barefoot shoes. By the way, you can find affiliate links to all shoes I mentioned here and more. Check out the description for that. Moving to my hiking shoes, I can use those for hiking. Also, they are much too nice for nice events and stuff like that. As I already mentioned, I love my Luna sandals for hiking and sometimes running as well. As my feet are currently not very adapted to long distances anymore, I switch things up with my Ultras, the Lone Pine, depending on the day, weather and mileages I cover. Ultras are not per se minimal, as you can see, or barefoot shoes, but I love the fact that they have a zero drop and a wide toe box to promote natural toe and foot posture like my real barefoot shoes. All that said about barefoot shoes, I still spend a lot of time barefoot. Whether for my movement practice or going out for a walk, spending time barefoot still has an element of rawness that can't be matched even by barefoot shoes. The proprioceptive impulses, temperature, vibrations, and texture of the ground add layers of sensations that I wouldn't experience otherwise. I'm always surprised when I go to a barefoot trail near my mother's place and see how overly sensitive people have become when walking on different textures barefooted. Instead of feeling the texture or the temperature of the ground, they just feel pain. No, so it seems. This is also why we have many things at home that encourages barefoot activities like toe stretchers, balance beam or texture mats. Of course, Spending time barefoot or in minimal shoes doesn't have any benefits if you're not aware of the grounding effect and the changes into your body. This is the reason why I have so many videos on mindfulness and breathwork, because it provides the basis for qualitative interactions with your surroundings. Have fun checking out my other videos or join my 7-day free breathwork and mindfulness course. Thanks for watching and see you later. Bye.